South Africa and Algeria in the women's section. And that's at 4 o'clock South African time, followed by the encounter between South Africa, the hosts, and Egypt for the men's competition, which rounds us off for the opening day of the 2020 IWBF Afro Paralympic Qualifiers. My name is Jerry Smith, and I'll be talking to you throughout the production. Feel free to comment on IWBF Facebook page during the live commentary. We will try and answer some of your questions, and we'll be also interviewing some special guests during the course of the commentary. So we're trying to make this a more interactive experience, and let everybody know that the games are on, and let's get the word out there about the 2020 IWBF Afro Paralympic Qualifiers. As I stated, the opening ceremony is not far away, and we will come back to you as we're about to start that. All right, coming to you live from the Vodacom Mandeville Indoor Sports Centre in Johannesburg. That was the opening address by Wheelchair Basketball South Africa's Vice President, Mr. Sibongile Fundini, as well as Mr. Yusuf from Morocco assisting with the translation. Entering the court now is all the IWBF international technical officials, or the referees for this tournament, and they've been hard at work for the past few days under the guidance of Mr. Christian Roja, the technical manager of IWBF. Entering the court now is the South African men's team, the Sasol Amawila boys, as they're affectionately known here in South Africa. And as the host nation, they are out to try and obviously win their way through to Tokyo 2020. The South African team have been hard at work over the last few months to prepare for this event, and they're looking forward to taking on their counterparts from North Africa, Morocco, Algeria and Egypt. Closely followed by the men's team is Sasol Amawila girls. 8 of our Sasol Amawila girls took part in the under-25 IWBF Women's World Championships in Suphanburi, Thailand last year, and they have managed to work their way up into the seniors team, and they will have a very tough encounter. Five matches against Algeria. Unfortunately, Kenya pulled out at the last minute, and so the South African women and the Algerian women will be battling it out the whole week to fight for their place in the Tokyo 2020 Paralympics. Followed onto court by the defending African champions, the Morocco team. The Moroccans arrived in Johannesburg yesterday, and one or two of their players that are playing out in Europe have just arrived this morning, so they don't have much time to adjust to the altitude here up in Johannesburg. We're at over 6,000 feet above sea level, so it'll be an interesting to see how they manage to cope in the tough encounter that they have against Algeria later on this afternoon. Next on to court is the Algerian women team. They are the defending African champions in the women's section. A bit of confusion as to where they are to line up. And they are now followed onto court by the Algerian men's team. So just to confirm, 4 nations taking part in the 2020 IWBF Afro Paralympic Qualifiers. As you can see, we have Algeria, Morocco, South Africa, and of course, shortly to join us on court will be the Egyptian team. Unfortunately, the Egyptian side are not here for the opening ceremony. They arrived late yesterday, so they are resting up before the big game this evening. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the preparation now for the opening game between Algeria and Morocco will shortly take place, and we will be coming at you live with the game from 2 o'clock. We will also have a couple of interviews before the game, and a big shout out to our sponsors Sassel for making it possible for wheelchair basketball and the IWBF to broadcast these games live from the Vodacom Mandeville Indoor Sports Centre in Johannesburg, South Africa. Stay tuned, folks. We will be back with you shortly. Just a reminder, folks, the opening game of the 2020 IWBF Afro Paralympic Qualifiers will be coming to you live here from Johannesburg at 1400 South African time. The opening game between Morocco and Algeria, and that will be followed by the host nation South Africa against Algeria in the women's section. That will be at 4 o'clock, and after that at 6 o'clock the host nation South Africa, the Amawila boys, the Sassel Amawila boys, will take on Egypt. So stay tuned. Action-packed wheelchair basketball coming to you live from South Africa. The 2020 IWBF Afro Paralympic Qualifiers. We'll be back shortly.